అంజూరపు చెట్లు పూయకుండినను, ద్రాక్ష చెట్టు ఫలింపకపోయినను, ఒలీవ చెట్లు కాపులేకయుండిన, చేనిలోని పైరు పంటకు రాకపోయినా నేను యెహోవాయందు ఆనందించెదను అంటూ హబక్కు గ్రంథంలోని 3 అధ్యాయాలను కంఠస్థం చేసి మన ముందుకు వచ్చి వినిపిస్తున్న హోరేబ్ సండే స్కూల్ స్టూడెంట్ని మనము తన ద్వారా విందాం.
Praise Lord, my name is Hannah Ruth, the book of Habakkuk. The burden which Habakkuk the prophet did see, O Lord, how long shall I cry and thou shalt not answer? Even cry out unto thee of violence and thou wilt not save. Why dost thou shew me iniquity and cause me to behold grievance? For spoiling and violence are before me, and there are that rise up strife and contention. Therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doth not go forth, and the wicked doth compass about the righteous, and wrong judgment proceedeth. Behold ye among the heathen, regard and wonder marvelously, for I will work a work in your days, which ye shall not believe, even though it be told you. For lo, I will raise up the Chaldeans, that bitter and a hasty nation, which shall march to the breadth of the land, to possess the dwelling places which are not theirs. They are terrible and dreadful, and their judgment and dignity shall proceed of themselves. Their horses also are swifter than the leopards, and are more fierce than the evening wolves. Their horsemen shall spread themselves, and their horsemen shall come from afar, and they shall fly as the eagle that hasteth to eat. They shall come all for violence, and their faces shall sup up as the east wind, and they shall gather captivity as the sand. They shall scoff at kings, and princes shall be a scorn unto them, because they shall deride every stronghold, for they shall heap dust and take it. Then shall his mind change, he shall pass over and offend, imputing this his power unto his God. Art thou not from everlasting, O Lord my God, my Holy One? We shall not die. O Lord, thou hast obtained them for judgment, and O mighty God, thou hast established them for correction. Thou hast more purer eyes than to behold evil, and thou canst not look upon iniquity. Therefore dost thou looketh upon them that deal treacherously, and holdest thy tongue when the wicked devoureth the man more righteous than he, and maketh the men as fishes of the sea, and as creeping things which hath no ruler over them. Then they take up all them within angle, and catch them in their net, and gather them in their drag. Therefore shall they rejoice and are glad. Therefore shall they sacrifice unto their net, and burn incense unto their drag, because by them is their portion made fat, and their meat plenteous. Shall they therefore empty their nets, and not spare continually to slay their nations? Chapter 2. I will stand upon my watch, set me upon the tower, for I will watch to see what he shall say unto me, and what I will answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision, make it plain upon the tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but in the end thereof it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it will surely come, it will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth he at home, but enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death and cannot be satisfied, and gathereth unto him all people, and heapeth unto him all nations. And heapeth unto him all nations. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, saying, Woe unto him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And unto him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be booties unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of the men's blood, and of the violence of the land, and of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Woe unto him that coveteth an evil covetousness unto his house, to set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame unto thine house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. Then shall the stone cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe unto him that buildeth a town with blood, and establisheth a city with iniquity. Behold, is it not of the Lord of the hosts, that the people labor in very fire, and weary themselves for very vanity? For the earth is filled with the knowledge of the glory of God, as the waters covereth the sea. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, and putteth forth his bottle unto him, and maketh him drunken, that he may look on their nakedness. Thou art filled with shame for glory, drink thou also the cup, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. And the cup of the Lord's right hand shall be upon thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. For the violence of Lebanon, and for the spoil of the beast which made them afraid, because of the men's blood, and for the violence of this land, and of the city, and of all that dwell therein. What profiteth a graven image, that the maker thereof hath graven it, and a molten image, and a teacher of lies, that the maker of his work trusteth in him to make dumb idols? Woe unto him that saith unto the wood, Awake, and unto the dumb stone, Arise, it shall teach. Behold, it is filled with gold and silver, and there is no breath in the midst of it. For the Lord is in his holy temple, let all the earth keep silence before him. Chapter 3. A prayer of Habakkuk the prophet unto Shihioth. O Lord, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. O Lord, revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years make known. In wrath remember mercy. And God came from Teman, and the Holy One from Mount Paran, Selah. His glory covered the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise. And his his brightness was as the light. Out of his hands came horns, and there was hiding of his power. Before him went the pestilence, and the burning coals went forth at his feet. He stood and measured the earth. He beheld and drove asunder the nations. The everlasting mountains did scatter, and the perpetual hills did bow. His ways are everlasting. I saw the tents of Cushan in affliction, and the curtains of the land of Midian did tremble. Was the Lord displeased against the rivers? Was his anger against the seas? Was his wrath against the seas? That thou didst ride upon thy horses and upon thy chariots of salvation. Thy bow was made quite naked, according to the oaths of the tribes, even thy word Selah. Thou didst cleave the earth with the rivers. The mountains saw thee, and they trembled, and the overflowing of the waters passed by. The deep uttered his voice and lifted his hands on high. The sun and the moon stood still in their habitation. In the light of thine arrows they went, and in the shining of thy glittering spear. Thou didst march through the land in indignation, and did thresh the heathen in anger. Thou wentest forth for the salvation of thine anointed, and for the salvation of thy people. Thou woundest the head out of the house of the wicked, by discovering the foundations unto the next Selah. Thou didst strike through with his staves the heads of his city. They came forth as a whirlwind to scatter me, and their rejoicing was as to devour the poor secretly. Thou didst walk through the seas with thine horses, and through the heap of great waters. When I heard, my belly trembled, my lips quivered at the voice, and rottenness entered my bones. I trembled in myself, that I may rest on the day of trouble. When he cometh unto the people, he will invade them with his troops. Although the fig tree shall not blossom, neither shall the fruit be in the vine, the labor of the olive shall fail, and the field shall yield no meat. And the flock shall be cut off from the fold, and there shall be no herd in the stall. Yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will joy in the Lord of my salvation. The Lord God is my strength. He will make my feet as the hind's feet. I will walk on the high places. To the chief singer on my stringed instruments. Thank you.